Hi everyone, I hope you all had a super happy new year. This is the first video I'm filming in 2021, so after how stressful 2020 was, I thought we could start this year off with a nice relaxing Q&A sort of video. So I actually asked you on my Instagram if you had anything you wanted me to talk about, and I'm going to be answering as many questions as I can today, so thank you so much to everyone who supports me on my Instagram. If you don't already follow me on there, feel free to do so, and if you aren't subscribed already, please do consider subscribing and giving this video a like. It really does help me out. But with that out of the way, let's just jump into the questions. What was the best thing that happened to you in 2020? I mean, 2020 was a really difficult year to be honest, but there were still some good parts of it. I mean, spending a lot of it with all of you was one of the most wonderful parts of it. But I think it was in January I went to Miku Expo and got to see Hatsune Miku in concert for the second time. And I just love Vocaloid music. If you know me, I love Miku and I'm a massive Miku fan, so it was really great. And in March, just before the whole virus thing, I went to Disneyland Paris, and it was the first holiday I've been on in many years since I was a child, so it was a really nice time. And luckily we got there and booked our trip just before all the virus stuff started happening. Luckily we saw basically everything on the first day, and yeah, we were actually there the day, I think it was the day Disneyland Paris closed that evening when we went home. I think it closed that night, so we were really lucky with that, and it was so great to go to Disneyland. I can't wait to go again. Going on holiday isn't something I do often because I don't actually have a lot of money, so yeah, I really enjoyed going to Disneyland Paris, and I had so much fun this time because I actually went on some of the rides, and when I was little I was really scared of the rides, so I didn't really go on them. I'm still way too scared to go on any roller coasters or anything like that. I had a really good time, so I'd say they were probably the highlights of my year. What are your New Year's resolutions or your goals for 2021? I feel like whenever I make New Year's resolutions, I never keep them because I always make them to be too big, like I'm gonna do a certain thing every single day or something like that, and I always never do it, and I feel like a lot of people do the same thing. After how stressful 2020 was, I really this year just want to focus on my health, whether that's just my mental health, my physical health. I had a lot of anxiety about my health the past few months, and especially after Archie getting sick, I just feel so nervous about everything. I just constantly worrying that me or my loved ones are going to get ill, because unfortunately you just can't control what life's going to throw at you. And I think trying to focus a lot of your time on just making sure that you feel healthy, whether that's mentally or physically, is the best way to prevent those sort of scary, sudden things that happen and freak you out. So yeah, this year I really just want to feel good, and that's the only goal I have. You can probably tell by the fact that this video is probably coming out really late because I'm filming this on the 19th of January, and I had plans to just like go for it. As soon as 2021 started, I had all these plans, like I'm gonna upload all these new sorts of videos, I'm gonna work so hard. And then I thought, I'm not actually nervous about working right now. After I took my break around Christmas time, usually I get really anxious about work constantly, and I'm always thinking to myself, I should be working right now. I can't play a video game without thinking, oh, I should be recording this for my YouTube channel because everyone on my YouTube channel would like this. Yeah, I was just constantly nervous and comparing myself to others. After I took a break around Christmas time, I felt like I wasn't thinking about work, and I was like, oh my goodness, I should really take advantage of this opportunity and just relax. And that's what I've been doing. I've been playing video games in my own time and being myself again, and it feels so nice. I'm really just not going to try to put pressure on myself this year. I'm just going to try to do new stuff and focus on being happy and healthy. What plans do you have for your YouTube channel this year? So like I've said a couple of times now, I just want to do something new. My main goal for this year is to just play a much bigger variety of games. I really want to play more indie games on the channel because I feel like indie games don't get a lot of attention, and I think that would be really nice if we can play a lot of indie games. Not just indie games, of course. I want to play so many different games on the channel because I feel like last year I got very caught up in Animal Crossing, and I really do love Animal Crossing. I mean, my username is loulou-crossing for a reason, but honestly by around summertime I was incredibly bored, and I kind of felt like I was just making Animal Crossing content because that's what people wanted and not actually what I wanted to do. It came with a lot of comparison as well because a lot of new Animal Crossing players came onto YouTube and they were making such great videos, and they still do. There's so many making so many amazing innovative videos. I just feel like I never live up to what they're doing. It just came with a lot of comparison. I also was quite disappointed in New Horizons. I won't go into it too much, but I think it was kind of obvious. A lot of you guys said in my best of 2020 video video that it was obvious I had a lot more fun in Animal Crossing City Folk than in New Horizons, and that is the truth. I do love New Horizons, I think it's a gorgeous game and I like to play it on my own spare time. I've been playing it quite a bit recently, trying to decorate my island. Making content on it is a lot harder than I expected because I'm not really the best at decorating, so I can't make all these like crazy aesthetic islands. I don't have the money to buy a second Switch, so I can't restart my island and do all of it all over again like a lot of people have been doing. Honestly, I just got really stuck in this Animal Crossing bubble, and it wasn't until one of my Pocket Camp videos didn't get as many views as usual that I realised I should just do whatever I want. When I started the channel, I was just playing whatever I wanted, experimenting, and it was so much fun. So in 2021, I really just want to experiment more and play different games. Of course, I'll still be playing Animal Crossing just as much, I'm sure, but I'd really love to play different games all the time and to not feel stuck in a bubble. So the next question is, how old are you? I get asked this all the time and I feel like I've answered this in every single Q&A video I've done, but I'm currently 21. I'll be turning 22 on the 19th of March. Easy way to remember it is the day before New Horizons released. Yeah, I'm 21. Where did the name Loulou-crossing come from? I think I've answered this before as well. Lulu's just my name and crossing is Animal Crossing, of course, so it's kind of obvious, but back in the day on Tumblr, people used to have this username where they'd add like mare to their name or crossing to their name just so you'd know they're part of the Animal Crossing community. It was generally a pretty popular username on Tumblr back in the day, so it came from that as well. The reason I thought of using it for my YouTube channel, even though I knew I didn't want to do just Animal Crossing content, was because to me, like a crossing is like a pathway, right? Like you're crossing the road, and I just think of YouTube as this like big forest, and Lulu Crossing is just a little lane that you can go down with flowers and trees, and I'm just this little corner or this little roadway you can walk through on your time on YouTube. And yeah, I just think it's nice that people can come through to my channel and cross along and be on their way and then go somewhere else. And yeah, I just like to think of it like that. I know that might be a bit cheesy, but that's the reason I decided to have my username as Lulu Crossing rather than gaming with Lulu or something like that. Oh, this is a really nice question. This question is, how do you like to spend your mornings? That's such a nice question. I really love to spend my mornings relaxing. I don't like to be suddenly woken up. It puts me in a really bad mood. I don't like to be woken up by a loud noise like an alarm. So if I do have to wake up to an alarm, I make sure the alarm is like a relaxing sound. But usually I get woken up by my boyfriend Tyler. He wakes me up with a cup of tea every single morning. Thank you so much, Tyler. That's how I like to wake up in the morning, and I think everyone in the world would probably love to wake up with a cup of tea next to them ready and a kiss on the forehead, because that's just the nicest way to wake up, isn't it? What's your favourite tea? Well, I am British, so my favourite tea is English tea, I guess. I see a lot of Americans drink all these different flavour teas, and it's so strange to me because I don't know if it's like this everywhere in England, I'm sure it isn't, but where I live, we just kind of drink the 1 or 2 types of tea, just regular tea, and we drink that like every single morning. At least it was normal in my household that every time you wake up you have a cup of tea. I know a lot of mine and my friends' parents just drink tea all day every day and like nothing else. So yeah, it was really strange to me when I started making friends online because of YouTube, and I'd talk to them and they'd say they didn't like tea, or they've never had it, or they think it tastes like muddy water. I hear that a lot, and I'm always just like, but it's just so strange to me because I've just grown up with tea every single morning. My favourite tea, I guess, is Yorkshire tea. If you know that brand, if you're from the UK, I'm sure you can find it in your supermarket. But yeah, my favourite tea to drink is Yorkshire tea. But I recently got gifted special Kentish tea, because if you didn't know, I'm from Kent in England, and my boyfriend got gifted this big crate of foods and stuff from Kent Farms, and one of them was this pack of Kentish tea. It tasted so good. It tasted just like Yorkshire tea, but it had a much more refreshing aftertaste, because a lot of the time when you drink tea, sometimes you can get like a strange aftertaste sometimes, but this tea didn't have that. It felt really refreshing after you've drunk it. So if you do ever come to Kent and you somehow find this tea, I would recommend you have it. If you come to England, you better try Yorkshire tea, because that's my favourite. How have you been doing? Well, thank you so much for asking. I'm doing okay, I think. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I've just been doing my hobbies again. I've been painting, I've been journaling, I've been playing video games, I've been watching Netflix, I've been watching anime again. To be honest, last year I didn't do anything that I usually did. I stopped drawing because I was too busy working. I stopped watching anime because I was too busy working. I stopped playing video games in my own time because I thought I had to record them for YouTube. I honestly don't think I was doing very well mentally, and I went through a lot of stuff last year. Honestly, wasn't doing well. I just feel so much better. Right now I'm feeling really really good, to be honest. I get anxious about my health now and then. For the most part, I'm feeling better than I have in a long time. Will you ever do a face reveal on YouTube? This is something I've been thinking about a lot recently because my favourite sorts of videos to watch are ones where people have their face in the video. I don't particularly like to watch people that don't show their face in videos, and I feel like it does cause a disconnect between the audience and the person that's creating the videos. So I always worry about that with you guys and me, that maybe you might feel disconnected from me because I don't show my face. Honestly, showing my face on YouTube is something that makes me incredibly anxious. As you all know, I do have social anxiety and I just don't think I'm confident enough to show my face at this time. Super weird to be answering this question right now because last night I was like, maybe I should just show my face on YouTube because there's so many different videos I want to make that kind of require me to be on camera, and I just can't make them because it just makes me terrified, and I just don't want people to comment on my looks because it'll just make me so uncomfortable, and I honestly don't think I'm mentally strong enough to handle it. You guys have probably seen my face if you follow me on Instagram. I do post pictures, but I feel so much more comfortable having a picture that I can choose to share of me looking, you know, in my best way I can. Maybe I could one day, maybe, but honestly, I'd feel much more comfortable just being behind like a VTuber sort of thing. If you guys have been around a while, you know I have used like a VTuber camera type thing before. I really want to have a proper VTuber body to use, but they're really expensive and I don't know how to make them, and I don't have the money to get someone else to make one for me. So if you actually know how to make them, or you know of someone that makes them, or if you know anything more about being a VTuber, please do let me know in the comments or DM me on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, because my old one wasn't very good and I would really like a new one. I think being able to show my facial expressions through a VTuber's body would be really nice for all of us. And I've had a couple of you guys message me saying that I do really well at being a VTuber, and I really do honestly want to do that. It's something I really want to do because I think that I'd be okay at it, and I think that is perfect for someone like me that's too anxious to show their face because they have an anxiety disorder. I just feel like it was meant for me to do it. So if you do know anything about that, please do let me know. But for now, I won't be doing a face reveal, but if I do, you guys will be the first to see it, I guess. So subscribe if you want to see that face reveal, if it ever happens. How did you meet your boyfriend? Long story short, he's just a family friend, and so he'll be at my house and we got along all the time and we just slowly fell in love, I guess. And that's what happened. How is your new apartment coming along, and how have you been since you moved? My new apartment is coming along very slowly. If you guys didn't know, I'm moving out of my mum's house, and me and Tyler have got our own tiny flat now, but it's really run down and we're trying to decorate it. I'm still currently living at my mum's because the flat is just not ready to be moved into. We don't have an oven or a fridge or a washing machine, and every time I go to buy one, they won't deliver it because of the whole virus stuff. So it's a really hard time to be moving house right now. I'm currently still here, so I can't really comment on how it's been since I moved. Once I'm probably moved in, I will have to let you guys know. The next question is, what's your best memory from when you were younger? Searching through years of childhood trauma to try find a happy memory. I'm joking, of course. I have some happy memories, like playing video games, playing Spyro and The Sims with my sister, watching my brother play games, obviously getting Animal Crossing Wild World for the first time, laughing with my school friends, going to Disneyland when I was little. Probably my happiest memory from when I was younger was the day I got to bring my cat Archie home. It wasn't planned for me to get him, but my mum had a friend who had like loads of cats, and they would often have kittens. I loved going to this lady's house because I got to play with kittens, and my favourite one of her cats was a beautiful tabby called Cleo, and I remember she would often sit on the kitchen side and I would cuddle her. Anyways, this time I came over and she had her own kittens, and they were just the cutest, fluffiest tabby babies I've ever seen, and there was one that I fell in love with the moment I saw him, and he loved me too, and that was Archie. I begged my mum for ages if I could take him home because I just felt like I must have this kitten, I must have him. We belong together, and I begged my mum and the lady for ages if I could take him home, and they said yes. I took him home in a little cardboard box and we cuddled the whole evening, and I played Animal Crossing Wild World on my DS with him on my lap, and every day with him has been lovely since. The next question is, if you were a ruler of your own country, what would be the first law you would introduce? That's a good question. My rule would be for everyone to be happy. Of course, things aren't that easy, but that would be a nice rule to implement, I think. Obviously, I want things to be put in place to protect people of colour, to help the LGBT community and women. So what things do you like to do when you're not filming or editing? I play games and watch YouTube and anime mostly. I used to draw a lot, but I don't get much time to nowadays. Recently, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake and loving it. And yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun doing things like that. Watching Attack on Titan, the final season, rewatching Anne with an E on Netflix. I've just been having a good time. Can we see some of your artwork? Of course you can. I'll try put some on the screen right now if I can. Obviously I draw in an anime style. I don't think that I draw very well. I really want to change my style. I really want to draw in a more like 90s anime aesthetic, but I just don't get time to draw that much nowadays. Do you watch anime? And if so, what are your thoughts on Yuri on Ice? I do watch anime, a lot actually, and I've been watching it since I was a kid, and I absolutely love Yuri on Ice. I think there was a season 2 announced as well, because I saw a trailer with Victor dancing. I think that was for a season 2 or a movie, whatever it is. I'm really excited for it. I love Yuri on Ice. It's just so cute. I really love it. So what are some games you want to play on the channel this year? Well, I'd like to pick and choose whichever games I feel like, but one game I definitely have plans for is Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town. I've actually pre-ordered the special edition, so maybe I can do an unboxing video. Are you going to play Sky on your YouTube channel? I'm guessing this is because I mentioned Sky somewhere. I did actually record a video playing Sky. I'm not sure if I still have it or not. I'll have to have a look around, but I think I had trouble with the video because I recorded part of it on my phone and part of it on my iPad, and turns out the iPad footage is in strange dimensions and I can't get it to fit HD TV to watch, so there would be like black lines on the side, or it would all just look kind of weird. So I had a lot of trouble with that. I'll have to have a look. If you don't know what Sky is, it's a free mobile app. I think it's made by the same people who made Journey, and it's a really relaxing, wonderful app. I made a really cute friend on it, and we just like flew around together and did stuff. I don't actually understand what the game is actually about, but I played it for hours and hours, and it was so much fun. So if you haven't played Sky, you really should go play it. I'll have a think about whether to play it on the channel or not. I'll see what I can do with that old footage, and if I can't do anything, maybe I'll have to record a new video playing it. We can just chat about something while I fly around in it, maybe. Do you plan on making more Stardew Valley content, and will you ever make a Stardew Valley Let's Play? I've actually been planning on starting a Stardew Valley Let's Play for a long time, but because I've already played Stardew Valley in my own time and basically seen every single storyline and done everything, I just felt like playing it on the channel would not be fun for me because I've already experienced it all, so I won't be surprised or excited by anything really. But there's been so many new updates for it now since I last played that I think if I was to play it on the channel, I would be able to experience so many new little things. So yeah, playing Stardew Valley on the channel is definitely something I plan on doing this year, so I hope you'll look forward to it. Will you ever make Animal Crossing New Leaf videos? I do want to. I hope to at least some point in my life. I've been wanting to do it since I started YouTube, but to record New Leaf videos you need a special DS thing that is impossible to get nowadays, and if I don't want to do that I have to use, I forgot the word for it. Why have I forgotten the word for it? It's like, oh my god, why have I forgotten the word? Basically it like goes on your PC instead. It's like a fake version of the game. So I'm trying to look into getting that done. I'm going to try to get my boyfriend to help me because I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. But I really do want to play New Leaf on the channel. I really want to play Population Growing and Wild World as well. So hopefully I'll get a chance to play all the Animal Crossing games on the channel with you all at some point. I think that would be really wonderful. So yeah, I hope you look forward to New Leaf videos in the future, hopefully. That's something I really want to do. Did you ever play Nintendogs? And if you did, what was your dog's name? That is such a lovely question. I did play Nintendogs. I absolutely adored the original Nintendogs, and I love Nintendogs plus cats as well. And my first ever dog on the game was actually already on the game when I started it up. I think maybe I had a second-hand copy, or I'm not sure if when you start the game you just get a random dog already. When I started there was already a dog in my house, and he was a King Charles Spaniel, I think. He was black and brown and white, and his name was Lucky, a classic name for a dog. And after that I remember I got loads of Shih Tzus, but I can't remember any of their names. What's your favourite thing to do while playing Animal Crossing? Well, in most Animal Crossing games, my favourite thing to do is just chat to the villagers and just feel at peace, I guess. But in New Horizons, literally the only thing to do is decorate your island, so I guess that is my favourite thing to do currently in Animal Crossing. What do you want to see in future Animal Crossing updates? So many things. I just want everything back from the old games, to be honest. I love so many of the new things in New Horizons, but I didn't want those things at the cost of old features. So New Horizons was actually very disappointing for me in that aspect. When did you first play Animal Crossing? I think I've answered this before, but my first game was Wild World, and I think I was about 8 years old. What's your favourite song? As someone that loves music, this is like my least favourite question ever, because I just can't pick one song, because I feel like if I pick one, I'll forget about one of my favourite songs, and then I'll hear it and be like, oh no, I should have said that one. Music just means so much to me that if I tried to pick one song for my whole life, I think I would just implode. But I love Vocaloid music, especially recently I've been listening to a lot of Pinocchio P obsessively. If you ever wanted a glimpse into my mind, listen to some Pinocchio P music. He just discusses so many things that I think about all the time, and I always felt like I was the only one that thought about these crazy existential things. But no, Pinocchio P understands me on another level, so if you like Vocaloid music and haven't listened to Pinocchio P stuff, you definitely should. If you are into Vocaloid and haven't heard of him, you might recognize him from his song Slow Motion. I think that's his most popular one. Check him out because that music's good. I also, probably a lot of people would be surprised by this, I listen to a lot of Moretu. Again, if you're into Vocaloid, you probably know that name, like heavy rock sort of music. It's so good. I just love it all so much, and they talk about a lot of dark themes, so I actually wouldn't recommend you listen to that if you're easily upset by certain things. But I love that music so much, and I love Coldplay's music, though I haven't listened to them in a long time because I didn't really enjoy their last album, but I really love their older albums. They're just so beautiful and wonderful, and again, I feel like Chris Martin understands me on another level. I listen to Aurora, I love her music. I listen to a lot of Japanese music and video game soundtracks, lo-fi, and I have to be honest, most of the time I'm listening to Japanese music, whether that's Vocaloid or anime openings, but I love everything really. So probably a better question to ask me is, do you like a certain song or certain band or singer, because then I'll be able to answer that better and talk about my favourites, because just asking me for one song out of every musical artist out there is incredibly difficult. So I'm really sorry I couldn't just give you one song, but I hope you got an idea of the sort of music I like and how much I genuinely just love music so much. And the final question for today is, what is the most important thing to you right now? Honestly, the most important thing to me in my life right now is just me and my loved ones being as healthy and happy as we can be. After last year and after this long break I've had, I just know that true happiness comes from time I spend with my loved ones. It's really easy to get caught up in thinking that your worth is defined by your numbers or your views, your followers. Yeah, like I said, last year I had quite a hard time. I was attacked by a bunch of trolls. I made mistakes, like I mentioned a couple of things in videos, and then I had people talking about me on a couple of forums. I apologized because I just don't want anyone thinking I'm out here to cause trouble or anything. I made just a bunch of mistakes, to be honest. Just so much bad stuff happened. Because of all that, I realized that once I stepped away from the internet, the things that I had that weren't attached to the internet were the things that truly brought me happiness. Those are things like my cat, my boyfriend, reading and watching anime and playing games in my own time. Those are the things that I treasure so much, because if YouTube were all to go wrong and for some reason all of you would decide you hate me, maybe I make a mistake in the future and everyone decides that I'm the worst human being in the world, or maybe YouTube gets deleted or something like that, I feel like I could be content because I have all the things I need and they're not on here. And I think that's really important in life. To a lot of people, their happiness is defined by the objects they have and the things they have to show off about. Last year I got really caught up in YouTube, and when you do YouTube there will come times that just happens because it's so easy to get caught up in it. It wasn't until I went through so much stuff last year, I feel like I've come out of it better than I was before, and now I can say that if all of this disappeared, obviously I would be heartbroken. I would be really upset to lose this all, because I absolutely adore this channel and I adore all of you and I love YouTube, and obviously I've put a lot of work into it, so to lose it all would make me so heartbroken, and I hope I never lose it. But if I, for some reason I did, I know I would be okay as long as I had those I love. That's all I need to be happy, is people around me that love and support me, people around me that I love, and that's honestly all I need in life. So yeah, that was a really long, cheesy answer, but the most important thing to me right now is just my loved ones and making sure that we're all healthy and happy. I hope that that's something that all of you can focus on this year as well as yourself, because it's important to look after yourself so that you can look out for your loved ones too. That was the first video of 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this is quite long and chatty, but hopefully you found it relaxing. Hopefully you enjoyed just having me chat in the background while you do something. This year I'm going to try to do many different things, but of course I'll be back with New Horizons videos videos as always. I'm really looking forward to all of the new adventures we're going to have this year. I'm sorry that I just disappeared for a few weeks without saying anything. If you did want to know where I was, again, please just go follow me on Instagram. I told my Instagram followers what was going on and that I was having a break, but I just didn't post it on YouTube for some reason. Usually I would post updates on Instagram, so if you do want to know what's going on in my life or want to take part in Q&As or help me decide what videos to post and things like that, follow me on Instagram. It's at loulou_crossing. If you don't want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Twitter. It's at loulou-crossing. I don't really use it that much, but feel free to follow me on there. I have a Discord server you can join and come chat with the community. It's really sweet and lovely. It's a very quiet place. It'll be nice to have some new members join. If you want to support me financially, you can donate money from £3 and up to my Ko-Fi account. The link will be in the description. All of the donations go towards my cat Archie's vet bills and his medicine because it's costing me a lot of money. I still owe the vet a lot of money, so, and if you don't feel like doing that, you can also support me monthly on Patreon. Again, the link will be in the description, but if you don't feel like doing any of that, that's completely fine. All I ask is that you leave a like on this video and maybe consider subscribing, and if you don't want to do that, that's okay too, but I just thought I'd encourage you to do so because it does help me out. But yeah, I really hope you guys have all had a really lovely new year. I hope you've had a lovely January so far. I just love and appreciate you all so much, so thank you so much for listening to me ramble on. I hope that I got to answer most of your questions. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments, and if you watched this video all the way through, leave a comment down below letting me know whether you prefer tea or coffee, and depending on which one you prefer, what's your favourite one to drink, because I'm honestly really interested. I love both, so it would actually really help me out choosing a new tea or coffee to drink. So yeah, let me know in the comments and let me know how your new year's been and anything you learned and any goals you have this year. I'd really love to know. So thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and subscribe, only if you want to though, and I'll speak to you on my next video. Bye!